Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and in today's video we're going to be playing some 40NL and possibly some 60NL No Limit Hold'em. 60NL, No Limit Hold'em is that, isn't it? 60NL on the Pot Bombers Club. We're starting a rebuild from the PLO adventure that had a pretty gruesome ending. So as you can see, my account, this one's different because that's like a different number, but each account that I'm playing from has got $325.21 in at the start of this rebuild. I'm going to do a few videos, not going to record every session, but a few videos charting my progress or lack thereof of getting back to having like at least 11 binds in each account, 11, 12 binds in each account. Not sure how long it'll take me. I'm also playing in the evenings on Poker Bros, I think, so I can play with those loosey-goosey Yanks later in the evenings. But I really do like this Pot Bombers site. The only reason I'm not playing on it in the evenings is because that's usually off-peak time for Asia and Australia, which is usually the place where most of the players, or the area of the world where most of the players in this group come from. So this is still my go-to favourite site. The games are superb, admin are superb. If you want to join up to this club through me, then please get in touch. If you want to sign up direct through the guys who run the site, they run a super efficient service. If you just pop Bombers in Google, they'll come up top of the Google list and you can sign up through there. I will be tagged, so I will still get a little bit for putting you onto them, so don't worry about like thinking, I need to go through Reg. I'll make my little cut either way, whether you get in touch with me or them, and I'm more than happy for you to get in touch through them because it's less admin for me. So everyone's a winner, and there we are. We're going to pause the video now, and next time you see it, there'll be games up and running. So yeah, just sort of do the little intro with the dollar amounts we're starting with, and hopefully within a week or so we'll see all these numbers in the 400s, and we'll be back to where we started before we took another failed shot in the PLO streets. So here we are, we have three tables. We have a 60NL table, table 1. We have a 60NL table, table 2. And a 40NL table, table 3. I know the money I have on these clubs doesn't enable me to play 60NL from like strict bankroll management. 60NL is about to be 30NL sterling. I am incredibly well rolled for 30NL sterling in terms of my overall poker bankroll, so it really isn't a problem me playing these games. I just always tell people not to keep very much money on any of these clubs, as safe as I believe they are becoming. Still, it just makes no sense. I've said that like even when I used to play in the mainstream sites. There's just no reason to keep a large portion of your bankroll on any poker site. Depositing and withdrawing is so easy these days. To me, it makes no sense to have more than like 20 to 30 buy-ins in any one place, even less maybe if you can get away with it, and just like reload as and when necessary. If you hit a bit of a downswing, it's the easiest thing in the world to reload. So it might look like we're playing well without our rolls because we've only got like 5 buy-ins for 60NL in each club, sorry, in each account, but I promise you we're not taking any shortcuts here. I am more than adequately rolled. I mean, I used to play 30NL on Sky, was kind of overrolled for that, and my overall net worth has increased since my Sky days, so yeah, we're all okay. This is not any kind of cheating or shortcuts. I do advocate pretty sensible bankroll management in general, and keeping most of your bankroll somewhere safer than online poker sites. This certainly won't be as action-packed as the Pot Limit Omar videos we've been doing lately, but it's No Limit. You guys seem to like No Limit. You get a lot more views for No Limit videos. The Pot Limit Omar videos, which I really enjoyed making, and I thought the games were action packed. They, over like a 4 or 5 day period, they typically only get half as many views as No Limit Hold'em, so it's better for the channel to also do this. Not that I have my YouTube channel monetized. Don't think there shouldn't be any ads on my videos because I'm not monetizing them. Not asked about doing that. I only get like maybe 10,000 views a month, so even if I was getting like $5 per 1,000 clicks, it's $50 a month. It's not Probably should set it up and then just maybe if I'm not asked about the money, give it away somewhere. But nah, lazy Anna, so I won't be doing that. I would sometimes think about 3-betting the Queen 9 here, but this dude's on a shortish stack, so we'll just fold it for now. And he's also 37-11, so he's maybe not stealing super wide. He's only got a 23% steal. So maybe the Queen 9 suited isn't the type of hand you want to be taking in a 3-bet against this fellow. But we'll see as the session goes on. These stats might not be reflecting his current mood, of course. Clearly going to go for the ISO with the 9-8 on the button there. Crystal clear isolation. Crystal clear small c-bet on a board that should favour our range, and then obviously shutting down if we get called, given that we've got no pair, no draw really. But we pick it up. Happy days. Playing short-handed usually isn't my thing, but more than happy to play short-handed on table 1 with 2 very recreational players by the looks of things. And defend the King 10 off here versus the button open. Flop 2 pairs. Pretty dry board, but we're still going to be going for a check raise. Looks like we're getting it all in then. Hopefully we've got him in rough shape. No, we have him in the same shape, so never mind. A lot of fuss over nothing there. We got our c-bet called here on ace-ace deuce. We might still have the best hand now we've improved to the jack, but there's no real reason to bet. And if he leads out on the river, we're probably going to fold unless he leads out small. And he doesn't lead out small, so we're just going to probably just fold here. And just saw a few draws in the flop, even one of them got there, even though the 4-5 cut shot got there. Yeah. I mean, we're probably folding quite high up in our range there when we hit the jack on the turn. Because we don't, when we check back the turn, we don't have any ace-x, so I guess when we fold there, we're folding pretty much everything that isn't an ace. Then we checked back. So maybe should just be a call based on, that's probably one of the best hands I'm going to show up with there that takes that line. But I just don't think people bluff enough to justify calling 3/4 pot size bets on rivers. Dude makes it 4x out of the small blind. That was 6-9, I'll be disappearing. Nice to see a 50/5 sit. Hopefully when he gets on him, he will top up. He hasn't topped up yet, which is unfortunate, but hopefully he will. Defend the ace-9 here versus, I mean, it's 55-11 with barely steals, but I don't think we can or should be folding the Queen Jack, even though he doesn't have a great deal of money to win. C-bet's just under half pot. Tempted to peel here and just try and take it away on some turns. I think these sort of players just c-bet quite a lot. They don't raise very often, but when they do raise, they kind of auto c-bet a lot. He bets small on the turn. This looks weak. And I'd love to raise here, then just barrel the river, but we don't have the stack depth to do that. I think if he had a full stack there, I think that raise turn, bomb river versus those sizings is going to be a highly profitable line, but not against that stack depth, unfortunately. That is a set. We like that. We like flopping sets. We don't like it when people fold when we flop a set. Not going to see bet the ace king on table 2 into this stack depth and another like passive-ish player. Even though it's like a reasonable board to stab on, the presence of this individual here put me off from doing it. You're pretty much going to auto c-bet any board with an ace on it when on the pre-flop raiser, and then go from there. Checking back here and probably folding rivers on table 1 if we don't improve. We have some showdown value. We beat like some hearts and things. I think it's just going to show up with a weakish ace decent amount of the time. Beat 5-4 as well, which is nice. Feels so much more back in my comfort zone playing No Limit. It felt nice last night. I put a session in on Poker Pros last night. It felt nice. And I put a morning session in here on Pop Bombers. It felt nice again, and it's feeling nice again now, even though we're playing three-handed here. Just feels like I know what I'm doing a lot more. I'm not like a world-class No Limit Hold'em player by any stretch, but I'm a very good player in the games that I put myself in. I just feel very confident that I do a lot of the right things a lot of the time. Do I play perfectly? Absolutely not. But I'm confident enough that my overall like baseline strategies and adjustments I make from my baseline strategies based on my opponents are plenty good enough to make me a big winner in these games, possibly a crusher in them. And also people will laugh at the notion that I'm a crusher, but given the methods I use in terms of when I play, where I play, against who I play, then yeah, I don't think it's a stretch to describe myself as a crusher, if we're assuming that anything over like 6 big blinds 100 is crushing. I suspect my win rate in these games is probably more than 6 blinds 100. I was just using that as a figure that I would consider to be anyone doing better than 6 blinds 100 over a big sample is, in my opinion, entitled to think of themselves as like a crusher in the games that they play. Don't like this pot size bet here, but we guess we have to call one. Might leave this table in a moment and try and get on a full table. Much as I like to play against 49/9s, this guy's led out for a pot again. Just gonna let second pair go now. Playing heads up on video is kind of takes too much of my attention away from other stuff, leads me to making mistakes. And he's pretty passive. It's not like he's giving tons of good action where we think we can like get him out of the way quickly. It's going to be one of them that just bleeds, and then you're paying rake at the same time as he's bleeding, and it's probably not as profitable as it looks on first glance. He leads out here. Even if his draws have got like good equity, can't be asked playing this dude. Let's find a better table. Cannot be asked playing heads up. Not in the mood for it right now. Let's have a look at this table. We've got 41-9 with no money, 29-8 with not much money. Yeah, I think we can do better than that. 40/8, 20, that's the same fucking table we just looked at, Reg, you fuckwit. Was it the same table we just looked at, or are they both very similar? 21, now this is a different table, isn't it? So we got a 5712 with a fat stack, and then we got two reggish looking players. This guy's definitely a reg. This guy might be like could be a reg. Yeah, not sure. Where do we want to sit? Ideally we want to sit with him down to our right. These guys' 3-betting stats don't look too far out of line, so that's where we'll go. If these guys were like way out of line with 3-betting, maybe I'd sacrifice prime position on him to prevent them from abusing the fuck out of my isolation raises. But we'll take the Jesus seat on the player that looks the worst for now, and then see how it goes. Did I top up? I can't remember. Yeah, I must have done. Must have topped up. Trying to get into the practice of muting my mic when I vape, but then I get dealt the King Queen of Diamonds when I'm just starting a vape. Nice to see another player with a very high VPIP set. Fair enough, he's only set with $12 right now, but when it's on him, maybe that'll go up somewhat, and if it doesn't, maybe he'll take some from these guys and get himself a decent stack. I mean, look at these games we're playing. What we got on these two tables here? We've got two 60NL tables here, which is like 30NL Sterling, and not a reg, maybe a reg, but shit stats. At this table we have not a reg, reg, maybe a reg, not sure. And this 40NL table, not a reg, not a reg, not a reg, not a reg, not a reg. Tables are absolutely fantastic. Games are fantastic. Pot Bombers is where it's at for your morning and afternoon grind. I can promise you that. You should probably be defending the Ace-10 off here versus this fishy guy. Not the big blind. Not in love with the situation, but I think it's a reasonable defend. Instantly checks back. I'm just going to go pot against him here, try and get him to fold some better Ace-X. We've been 3-bet here by somebody who doesn't have many chips, and then been called in the big blind. So I think we're going to peel with the King and 10 suited for just 5 blinds more. I'm going to carry out our plan here, and we get the fold. And we flop top pair over here, so we're going to be like check raising him all in, check calling if this guy comes along. Okay, we're not going to be check raising this guy all in. And then he's come along too for even more chips. So all of a sudden our King 10 has gone from being a hand I was willing to play for his stack with to one I'm more than competently folding. Not sure what he's doing there with the 2 jacks, with his snap jam, but doesn't look like it's going to. Oh, it's worked out for him on the second run. Hard for him to win the third run now. Nice to see dudes in there just cold calling 3-bets. Not closing the action with the 6-7. You love to see that in your games. Min raise under the gun here from a 47/6. We shall not be 3-betting our race 10 suited. Versus those statistics. And we shall now just be folding it versus this donk bet on a board that's pretty much whiffed us apart from some backdoor stuff. Complete the 9-7. Flop the open ender. Then we're going to check call, which we would have to do. We may as well lead out for the bet. Turn the nuts. Feels like a decent spot to overbet. And we don't have the nuts anymore, but I mean, how likely is it this dude has Queen 9? Not very, I don't think. So we're going to go with a large bet again. I don't think we're going to get called too often on this river because of how much the board's changed from the flop, but worth a try. Interesting spot here on table 1. Do we overlimp with the 4-3 suited? I think it's probably okay. Don't want to get too much in the habit of overlimping. Well, on the button with a pure baby suited connector, I don't think it can be too bad. I'm just going to take a stab here. Only continue on really good turns if we get called. I'm not sure this bet works with a super high frequency, to be honest, but I don't think this guy can have much. He's a regular who's just overlimped and then checked that flop. And that bet does work. Raise under the gun. We're gonna fold from the cutoff. Some like half decent players behind us who could be aggressive. On the button there, I think appeal, but from the cutoff with two reg-ish looking players behind, I think folding is going to be fine. Our friend here in the tank and finally passed his hand. It looks like we have a hand on table 2 that we're going to be V-pipping with in one way or another. Disappointing this guy's got such a short stack in the blind. We do open ourselves up to being jammed on here. I think we're actually going to 3-bet this hand from the button rather than flat with it. This dude does go all in, as we suspected he might. This guy repops, so Jack Queen goes firmly into the dustbin right now. Probably save some money there with our 3-bet. I think we'd have been calling at least 2 bets from this dude with his aces. So this 16 table's not looking as good now. I mean, we still have this guy who's not very good, 28/7, but he's not super loose. This dude, 37/11. So it's not a terrible table by any stretch, but I think we can do better. So we're going to be leaving it in a moment. I'd rather play a better 40 table than play a moderate 16 table. I mean, if you're on the main sites, you love to see the 37/11 and the 28/7, but I just know we can do far better than this table in this club, so we're going to be exiting stage left and finding another one. See the first one we click, what does that look like? Fish, not fish. Right. Similar table to the one we just left, maybe slightly better, but let's see if we can't do better. What do we have here? No, that one doesn't look too good. Try and work our way down without clicking the same table too many times. Nit, fish, fish, reg. Similar to one we left again. 40/26, 47/11. Total nit there. Yeah, this one seems like it's a bit better. Got at least 3 players that we know look significantly weaker than us in this dude, in this dude, and in this dude. And then we got this fellow here who looks aggressive, but we have position on him, and then we have like a total nit to our left, which we never mind. Again, same situation as earlier with this guy's opened under the gun. A hand that I'd like to play, but with us not closing the action and being like not even on the button, we'll let it go. Again, if on the button, there's a good chance we would have peeled. Remember, did we top our stack up? No, we didn't. Now we have. Really? We're going to sit and wait for ages, or to run it twice in a less than 20 big blind pot? Really what you're putting me through, guys? Happy VE Day, by the way. Have fun celebrating millions of people dying. And drinking with your pals. Probably not socially distancing when you get 10 cans down. Have a nice time. certainly is a lot more sedate pace than the Pot Limp Home Hard Ventures, isn't it? This guy looks like he's playing way looser than his stats, by the way, during this small sample size. Seems to be playing way looser than a 26-16 would normally be, but again, small sample size, could just be getting a good run of cards, could be trying something new, could be tilted, who knows. We'll keep our eyes on it though. Not much we can do anyway when we get dealt the Jack 4 off suit and the ilk. All of a sudden now this table also isn't looking too good. We only have one guy that's really worth playing against, 57-12, and he only has 50 big blinds, so I think we'll be leaving this table in a moment too. There's no sense being at tables that, I mean, we don't have much real estate. We have 3 tables where I only play 1 table on it, so we have 3 accounts where I play 1 table on each account, so the real estate is valuable. And if we have a bad table, then it's just probably has a significant impact on my hourly. We've been 3-bet there, so we are out of there, and we'll find another table. 54, 25, no, too many basically tight fish there. Of course I just opened the same table again because I'm a fuckwit. I think that's the one we just left, so that's me being a fuckwit again. I'm going to concentrate on my Jack King for a moment. Pick up the call from the knit on the button. It's squeezed, but only small by the big blind. I think the chance of this guy back raising are close to 0, so we're going to take a flop. Not particularly exciting one. Some backdoor potential. If he bets big, we're just going to need to fold. This guy does c-bet 62%. Not ready to fold our hand just yet, given that high c-bet frequency. It's not an attractive turn card for us. If he continues, then we're going to have to tap out. And he does continue, which is unfortunate, but away we go. I've got 2 loose-ish plays at this table, so we're going to get ourselves involved. These guys like getting into it, don't they? They love getting into it. I'm not really sure what the Ace-4 is all about, but he's got there. How many times are they running it this time? Just the once. Yeah, just a stranger passing through town while these two good people go to war every other hand. It's the all incoming. Nope, just the complete. Someone with a picture of a cat. Yes, big fan of having a picture of your cat as your avatar. If I had 3 cats, I would have pictures of all 3 of them, as I only have 1 cat. And I like to have different avatars for different... I do think I'm due a change of avatars. I think I'm going to go with the male cast of Goodnight Sweetheart, with a Gary Sparrow, with a Ron Wheatcroft and a Reg Deadman. I'll do that sometime today, I think. I think mine has run its course for now. I would do the A-Team, but there's 4 members of the A-Team, not counting the female members from the early seasons. And I'd probably, if I had to miss one out, I'd probably have to miss Hannibal out. I'd like to see a race at this table. Let's see someone get after this limp. We haven't though, so we have to do our own bidding. And they're just both going to fold, aren't they? Nah, it's disappointing. Yep, I got one of them, mate. I mean, I don't know if this guy's tilted up his tits or what, but they're just not going to be able to defend the Queen 10 versus the pretty enormous 3-bet squeeze. A really annoying stay in my eye for 3 days now. It's starting to just go away slightly. Not sure if one of my friend's wives was trolling me, but she told me to lick my wedding ring and rub it on the sty. I can't find my wedding ring. I haven't worn it for 7 years. I wore it for a couple of days after getting married, and I just don't wear jewellery, so put it away somewhere. Can't find it. Tried licking my wife's wedding ring and rubbing my eye with that. Doesn't appear to have done much good, although my friend's wife guaranteed me it works. Someone else also told me to stick my eye over a bottle of olive oil for 10 minutes and that would cure it. Sadly, we don't have olive oil in our house, we just have vegetable oil, and I will not be going to the supermarket during these times of lockdown in order to buy something that's probably just an old wives' tale. What is good for it is shutting it, and when I finish this session, that's exactly what I plan on doing. Right, do we 3-bet versus this guy here with our ace queen? And if we do we call a shove? I think if we 3-bet and fold to a shove, I think we're torching money. So I think we 3-bet and then just call a shove or jam over the 4-bet versus this guy, the way he's been playing. Time to run good. That is not running good, is it? It's not good, because what's going to happen now is we're going to check. He's going to go all in, and we're going to fold. That is what is about to happen now, and it's very disappointing. Well, I get to see all 5 cards at least. And we actually get to win. Easiest check call ever on this table 1. Flop went check check. Turn went check bet call. Don't think he has a flush very often here, because I think he just bets his flushes on the flop. So is he now value betting a 10? There's a question. Don't think he has a flush. I'm not putting him on the flush. The problem is with our hand, we have just too many key blockers. We block clubs. We have a 9 which blocks a lot of his straight draws. I think it's probably just a fold. Doesn't feel good. And I think it's probably a fold given our... We do hold hands that... We do have cards in our hand that we'd like him to have in his hand. If ever you're in a spot where you're thinking, should I call or not with a bluff catcher, you don't really want to have cards in your hand that you would very much like to see your opponent have in his hand. I'm going to go with the 3-bet here with the 8-7 suited from the small blind. Been very inactive at this table, so hopefully we've built up a little bit of nit equity. We haven't built up nit equity. We do flop a gut shot on a backdoor flush draw. Don't feel like giving up just yet, so we're not going to. Although this guy's cold calling the big blind does fucking terrify me. If we calls here, we get a good turn. We're just going to be jamming. But we take it down, which is nice. A bit of a sweat, but we got there. Wow, 45 minutes already. I think due to my eye irritation, I'm just going to basically record the video and then stop the session, which is disappointing because we have some reasonable tables, but my eye's doing me fucking head in. So I think we'll have a little vape and then we'll shut my eye, whack a tea bag compress on it again later, and hope come tomorrow it's all back to normal. Say hello to the ladies. Do not want to see this guy 3-bet me. That would hurt. He is hands down my favourite player on this club. He's called Broccoli, and his avatar is a picture of a cartoon picture of broccoli, which I like a lot. Easy call here. Not planning on folding at any point, I don't think, versus this dude. Are we betting here, or are we just checking? I think we're just continuing checking, I think. In a multi-way pot, I think it's slam dunk bet versus a check. I think we just check call down versus this dude. Ace shouldn't change too much on the river. Ace 10 improves. And we check and win, which is nice. So I think we'll start getting ready to exit our tables. We've got another orbit to play on this one. Then we'll do the tally at the end, see where we stand. Feels like we've had like either a very small winning or a very small losing session. Raising the broccoli man here. We're not flopping well versus Mr. Broccoli. And I think we're going to check this board at a very high frequency. We do have the backdoor diamonds, which is nice. Keeping checking. Probably going to have to call a bet, I think. Now we've picked up the equity. And I think we can probably just check fold this river, I guess. Certainly versus a snap pot bet. No straddles to end videos today. We're in serious hardcore grind mode. So that's that table now disappearing from our lives. And so we have 1, 2, 3 more hands to play, and then wrapping it up. One more hand to go. on the Co-op's own apple juice today, because the Tropicana apple juice was unavailable yesterday, and I have to say the Co-op's own apple juice is a fine substitute for Tropicana apple juice at a significantly lower price. So I found a bargain for future juice purchases. Is the wait going to be worthwhile, or are we going to get Queen 7 offsuit in our last hand? Come on, Mr. Broccoli Man. I find, you know, if he calls and loses, then we go straight into the big blind, and we've waited for no good fucking reason. Right, Queen 7 off. Queen's club 7 spades, that's what we're getting. I know it. Oh, 10-9 suited. That's a pretty hand. Raisy daisy. Please don't jam. Please don't jam, Mr. Big Blind. Please don't jam, Mr. Big Blind. He didn't. Although we get a completely useless flop, so disappointing. And we can fold and leave. It's looking promising. Both these are bigger than we started. Let's just pause for a moment while we pull up just my bankroll. Are we running again? Yep, we are. So we started this with an average of 325. What are we finishing with? We've got 332.55 plus 330.42 plus 314.99. Divide that by 3. What the fuck have I just done there? Try again, Reg. 332. Oh, fuck off. 332.55 plus 330.42 plus 314.99. Divide by 3. Woohoo! We've made about $2. Wasn't that a worthwhile venture? Yeah, so good for us. At least we didn't have a losing session. It was a bit sedate, but that's life. So yeah, we'll leave it there for now. I'm not sure when there'll be another video. Probably won't be getting around to making one tomorrow, Sunday. Some potential for a Sunday video. Certainly not tomorrow. I've got some work to do tomorrow. Going out with the service user, going to go up to Coniston and have a paddle in the lake if it's warm enough. And then we have our weekly Friends home game on Stars. So yeah, Sunday's a good shout for a video, but not tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay indoors if you can. Look after yourself. Much love from me, and bye-bye for now.